Summit Public Art is a volunteer-run, donor-funded, city-based organization. We were founded in 2002, 20 years ago, and we're dedicated to bringing art to public spaces throughout Summit, whether it's downtown or here on the Green. Hi, I'm Brian Carpenter. I am a co-chair with Summit Public Art. I've been with Summit Public Art for about 5 years now, and I'm a Summit resident going back 22 years. I used to walk around and see these things and wondered where they came from, who put these up here, what did they mean, and now I have a great appreciation for everything that goes into this. It's a lot of hard work. Just getting these things to here and getting them in the ground and making sure they're okay and making sure our artists are taken care of, but it's rewarding work. So how did public art begin? Well, it actually began here on this green. If you look around, you will see we have 3 bus shelters, and in those shelters are stained glass murals. This was back around 2002, 20 years ago, and one of our former Summit mayors, Janet Whitman, got together with people around town and said, maybe we can do something here to make our town more beautiful, enhance our cityscape. And the first project was to do what became this bus shelter project. And as you can see, they're still here, and they do add something to the green. And Silver Sentinel, which is down on Broad Street near the entrance to town, kind of call it the gateway to Summit. And it's a beautiful stainless steel sculpture of a tree, and Summit is known as a city of trees. So it's just a nice way to welcome people to town. And we take a lot of pride in the fact that we are part of that. The heart of our program is our temporary art program, which means that every year we bring about 7 to 10 different artworks to town, meaning we basically rent them from the artist, because otherwise, as a nonprofit, we would never be able to afford some of these works. Recent artist Willie Cole, a New Jersey native, he has sculptures in the Metropolitan Museum of Art and the Newark Museum and the National Gallery of Art in DC. And right here in Summit, right over here at the moment, next to the Summit train station, modeled entirely out of previously worn high heel shoes, ladies' shoes. It's supposed to be Willie Cole's riff on African Snufo sculpture. Looks like something that you might see in a temple somewhere. But it definitely has attitude. What's amazing to me is how much character this piece has. He feels like the piece carries some of the spirit of the people who wore it. A year ago, or 2 years ago, you would have seen this piece in a gallery in New York City, and now all you have to do is head downtown to the Summit Village Green and you can enjoy it for yourself for the next year. One of the great parts about working with Summit Public Art is that you get to meet so many fascinating artists. There are special people who want to share their work with the public, and so we get to be a little part of their lives as they bring this art to our community.
Hi, I'm Donna Conklin King. I'm a sculptor from Essex County, New Jersey. I've been an artist for over 30 years. My earliest memory of making sculptures, first grade, when we had these oak tag cutouts and we covered them in plaster embedded gauze. And then as a girl, I was always in the woods. I'd get a $1 allowance and I would buy nails and hammers and I would build forts out of the scavenged wood I could find in the woods. From there, I won a New Jersey Arts Council fellowship. I'm shown all over the state, and here I am. Still at it. This piece is titled Cave Painting, and it's been modified for the Summit Public Art Program, meaning that I've added to it. And it basically grew out of being in quarantine, being in lockdown in my house, wanting to express a positive, unifying vision for everybody, something with some joy. And one of the things that is a constant theme of my work is the art of kintsugi, which is a Japanese technique for healing pottery. The philosophy being that if you take something that's broken, rather than discard it or throw it away after its many years of service, you would heal it or fix it, make it more beautiful than it was. It's sort of the Boy Scout adage of leaving behind a space better than it was. So you would heal it with gold leaf in the crack. And that led to my feelings or thoughts about how all of us are constantly breaking down and repairing. We're all in a state of constant regrowth. Cave painting is actually concrete. It's fiberglass reinforced concrete, and I use tin ceiling tiles. I cast out of that to get the texture. Superimposed on that is a painting of sky, something we all share. I was very moved by the Amanda Gorham inaugural poem, The Hill We Climb. The last two lines fit my feelings about our collective lives at the moment. So it's, for there is always light, if only we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it. So when people come off the train, they'll see the sky here and hopefully feel something light and happy or joyous in some way. And if people are on the field and the quad, they'll be able to see the glowing letters and feel in some way inspired. Every year, Summit Public Art puts out a call, and they invite artists to submit a proposal.
We have an art selection committee, and they spend a lot of time looking through galleries, visiting artist studios, walking through public parks like this to find works that they think might work here in Summit. And we also try to collaborate with a lot of local groups as well. Summit Downtown Incorporated, which is all the business owners here in downtown. We've actually done works with them that we've collaborated on, like a mural by well-known artist Kelsey Montague, who did an Angel Wings mural behind the restaurant Barbacoa, and we also collaborated with the restaurant's owner Dylan Baker on that. In addition to that mural, we also, there's the four-story mural at the Springfield Avenue parking tier done by a street artist named Hellbent from New York, and you might have seen his work all around Brooklyn, Manhattan, even down at the World Trade Center not too long ago. And of course, now we have him here in Summit. One of my favorite permanent pieces is called The Watcher. It's a mural of a great blue heron, and it's called The Watcher because his enormous eye is watching over everything. I'm always happy to see it, one, because it's a beautiful design. In addition to the bird, there's a swirling tail of feathers, and in that you see like a cityscape behind it, which kind of fits with our town. And that happens to be one of the best places for people watching in the city. You can sit there at some of the little tables and drink your coffee and check everything out. So for me, that's definitely one of my favorites.
My favorite piece in the Summit Public Art program is not there anymore. It was Kate Dodd's efflorescence piece. It was bright, colorful bottles, like water bottles converted. She's an amazing installation artist. I can't say enough about Kate. Hi, Kate.
My name is Vivian Furman Rubin, and I have been a member of Summit Public Art for 20 years. This work is created by Emil Alzamora. You will find 6 of these figures throughout the downtown area. This is an installation of individuals from another time or place visiting Summit, New Jersey. This appears to be a parent and a child. They're concrete and steel. They were created especially for the city of Summit. Very interestingly, the artist has chosen to have the figures in this kind of very rough texture that references perhaps prehistoric times. Then there are these very elegant faces. They are exploring our world and we are exploring them, and maybe through them we can explore our world a little bit more. As Emil writes, though recognizable, these travelers seem to be out of step with their surroundings, watching them watch us. And we hope you will enjoy them as much as we do, and enjoy finding them in different places throughout the downtown.
The piece behind us is called Between Flagships, and it's a piece that we commissioned specifically for the Village Green and for our illumination night, because it's a piece that gets right to the heart of our community. It was made by artist Ronan Gamil, who is a native of Brooklyn but who has lived around the world. What he has done here is made a piece out of textiles, drawing on census data from Summit itself. Very colorful, and the reason it's so colorful, it was drawn from the flags of 20 different countries that represent some of the different nations where Summit residents came from. So if you look closely, you will see the colors of the Irish flag, the Italian flag, the Korean flag. Everything here that you see has been blended together to kind of illustrate how we all do come together over time. And in that sense, it's a piece that absolutely gets to right to the heart of what our Summit community is and how diverse it is as well. So in that sense, it's a very special piece. It's also the centerpiece of our illumination night. Every year we try to do some kind of kickoff for our new season. This one is definitely special. We have a free community-wide family-friendly event called Illumination Night that we do here on the Green, where we offer free guided art walks around town. So if you've ever wondered what these crazy installations are around town, these 15-foot birds and other bizarre things that you see that may have fascinated you or confounded you, this is the perfect event for you, because we will try to explain what all of these wonderful, crazy things mean that we put out there. For art lovers, it's obviously great. For families, it's fun, because we'll have things like, we'll do chalk art, we'll have music, video installation, bubble machines. This is our way of giving back. It's just a free, fun family event. In terms of how people respond to Summit Public Art, that really comes through even if you're just walking around the Green here and you see people just stop spontaneously and do a double take. What was that I just saw over here? And they'll go over and check out the sign and try to figure out what this is.
One of the wonderful things about public art is that you don't have to go and find it. It finds you.
Because not everybody can get inside a gallery or a museum. So here it is out in the public for everyone to enjoy.
And over the course of a year, which is usually how long most of these pieces are here, you get to enjoy them through all different seasons. And some things you can't see as well right now because they're hidden by trees, but in the wintertime when everything is stark and bleak, it adds color to our town often, and things change in appearance over the course of a year too, and you begin to see them in a different way.
Just like the saying says, I mean, know that if you're having a bad day, it's going to get better. It's all right. Get through it. And if you're not having a bad day, I hope you just feel more joy. And know that we're all in a constant state of repair and regeneration.
We also hear about it on social media, you know, on Instagram and Facebook, and people just write in and tell us. There was a couple who wrote in and said, we got off the train in Summit shortly after we got married, and we had a sculpture here of two people embracing, like a goodbye kiss by a famous sculptor named Seward Johnson. And they took a picture of themselves as newlyweds right there and sent that in to us recently. One of our past board members, Taylor Kendra, said that one of the reasons that she and her husband decided to settle in Summit, they visited a lot of towns in this area, and they too happened to see this mirror ball mushroom sculpture that we had, and they said, this is the place for us. If this is the kind of thing they like, they obviously have the same sensibilities. We get people who are moving from Brooklyn and may be a little reluctant to move to Jersey, and a mom said that they got to town and saw on the Green a sculpture by this artist whose work they had just seen in Brooklyn, and she was like, I think we're in the right place. So people definitely respond to it.
I think Summit at large appreciates art, and I hope they appreciate my piece. I very much would like to contribute to people's well-being in some way by having art that everyone can relate to and enjoy. And I'm grateful to be here.
We owe a great debt to our city for their help. We could not do these massive installations that we do without the very real and practical help of the Department of Public Works, the guys who get out there with the shovels and the diggers and help put these posts in that support these great pieces of art. So we thank them for that, and also our mayor, Nora Radist, who's been a huge help for us, and our city council. We couldn't do it without them. I mean, we are an independent organization, but we're so fortunate that we have a town that appreciates the arts and wants to share this with our community. We also rely to a great extent on just private donations from individuals, Summit residents who live here. So all the work that you see here is brought to people just like your neighbors, your friends. That's what really makes Summit Public Art.